Hello and welcome to Nintendo News Report for Wednesday, November 2nd, 2016. I'm your host, Alexander Kalafi, celebrating 100 episodes, of Nintendo News Report. Hello, everyone. I am joined today by my producer and our news editor, Donald Terrio.
If this World Series scoreline holds, you might want to stay off the forums tomorrow because I think JP Corbin's about to ban somebody's ass.
Oh, man. I feel bad for JP.
I feel bad for the Cubs because their World Series victory will be the second most important thing happening tonight. So
yeah, the Animal Crossing update was pretty important as well. I don't know if that was intentional.
Oh, shit.
Was that intentional?
Well...
So
Zach's
Zach,
been taken over by and oh great, we have lost Alex.
Is Alex dead?
I'm back. Here's what happened. I did my jokey little tossy thing. It flipped my computer over and put it to sleep.
That's impressive.
Audacity is still going though. We have
Are we on the air? That's all I want to
we're
know
live.
after last week.
We're live.
Episode 100 of Nintendo News Report. Also, Neal Ronahan, site director of Nintendo World Report.
What's up, everybody?
NES Classic.
Oh, look at you.
Here we
The
go.
box is tiny.
Wait, are you telling me that includes Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, you see there's a list of the 30 games, and they probably are unreadable.
Yep.
I saw Kid Icarus. I saw the one that counts.
Nope.
But
For NES
here's
Classic,
our little
the list
baby.
again.
That's how long the cord is.
Nice.
I mean, long enough to choke a person, but...
Oh,
And then
That
the
thing-
HDMI cable, since people were wondering about this, not even an arm length. Like this is ridiculous. If you're getting this, I highly recommend putting an order online for like a really long HDMI cable. I think that would be the best solution for this because you press the. Here, let me grab the. You press the buttons here, that's to power it on, the power button, and the reset button will take you back to the main menu.
Mm.
So getting the long HDMI cable is clutch for the NES Classic Edition.
The appeal of that is also that you can sit on the floor like you would with a...
Yeah,
a
that's
NES.
nice.
That's the reaction that deserves. The patronizing scoff you just heard came from our third chair. One Zachary Miller from Alaska. Hello, Zachary Miller from Alaska.
Hi, Alex. I got a new amiibo. It's an alligator skull from Florida.
It
Doesn't actually work with any games yet.
So it's
But,
better than the Animal Crossing ones.
Way better.
Is that King K.
Zing.
Rool in 2016?
Amen.
Zach, let's see your
as
face.
part of the Donkey Kong Historia, King K. Rool is actually a mutated Bowser.
It's, I want Super Mario Bros. 2 Historia. Because
Wart is as Bowser's being mutated.
in the next...
I don't know. We're doing a lot of research to figure out the Donkey Kong Historia. So stay tuned to Nintendo World Report. We've only been talking about this for 2 years now.
What happens first? We see Wart in a relevant platformer, or we see King K. Rool in a relevant platformer?
Wart.
Neither.
Wart. I think Wart will appear in the next Paper Mario game or something, or the next Mario and Luigi.
They make jokes about him.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
But I think in Color Splash,
Color Splash.
yeah, in Color Splash, there's a Wart joke. I think that the whole relevant platformer thing is the thing that I think Wart's more likely there, but I think that King K. Rool is more likely to show up in a random game.
Like Smash.
You don't
I think K. Rool is the more likely Smash edition than Wart, although I think both are hideously unlikely. But King K. Rool would show up in a Mario Kart or something like that way before Wart ever would.
I feel like there's not much of a difference between Wart and K. Rool when you look at their designs. Honestly, Wart could be an 8-bit K. Rool.
They're both pretty stupid.
Yes.
So I think there's a spot for either a Wart, a K. Rool, or a Pauline as the secret NES slot in the next Super Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be real interesting.
A redesign of Wart Wouldn't that be? What if
I'd love that. I guess. I mean, Duck Hunt did come
Duck
back.
Hunt platformer with Wart as the final boss?
Dude, Duck Hunt platformer would work.
It would have to be
I
a 2D
still think.
platformer.
Okay, so what do we think Sakurai's even doing right now?
He's
Like,
on
I would
vacation.
Drinking Mai Tais.
I think that Sakurai's totally doing the Chris Nolan shit, where like he makes the Dark Knight, then he goes and makes the Prestige, or was that the other way around? I
It
think
was the
other way
Prestige
around.
and Dark Knight.
Yeah, he just Batman Begins, and then he goes off and he does the little Kid Icarus Uprising, the Prestige, then he comes back and he makes the Dark Knight, and now he's going to go off and make Inception.
Mm.
And I think Inception is going to be a Duck Hunt adventure game.
You think he's sticking around with Nintendo? You don't think he's gonna go to multi-platform?
I think at least
Kirby,
for
you're
this
right,
project,
dude.
I think like I feel like Iwata leaving might change a lot of what Sakurai does in the long term, but I think in the near future, he probably killed himself on Smash Brothers so that way he could turn around and just make something for him. So maybe that'll be the Duck Hunt platformer because he still has enough sway at Nintendo where even with Iwata gone, he can be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna make this." and as long as it's not like I'm like $1 bajillion, like he'll be able to do it. Because let's just think about what Kid Icarus Uprising is again. Like that's a ridiculous game. It probably shouldn't exist. That only exists because Sakurai made Melee and Brawl.
Yeah,
He made
was
the
best
best
bud
Star
buddy.
Fox game ever.
Yeah,
And he can make.
well,
and,
I was reading something
and-
that apparently Kid Icarus Uprising started off as a Star Fox game, but then it
What?
didn't work out. He wanted to have the more fluid ground movement with like the trackball controls, and that didn't work for Star Fox, and that's why it became a
That's
Kid
true,
Icarus
yeah.
game.
Yeah. Anyways, we got stuff to talk about today. I just want to comment that it is like semi-officially episode 100 of Nintendo News Report. Although if you count the telethon episodes, the NX or Nintendo Switch special was episode 100. But the point is, since the original episode came out, I think on December 18th, 2014, we have not missed a single week of doing something on this show.
even
which
if
I
we had to
think
put it up in
is
text
cool.
form.
I haven't been on 100.
We had to put it up.
Why don't tell me I have?
No. I
No.
think, I mean, Alex, you've missed what, like 10, maybe?
I've been on maybe 90 of
Yeah.
the 100. And Donald's probably been on like 70, 75, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, once Donald joined the crew, he hasn't missed many weeks, if any. I'm probably
I don't
rocking.
know. We haven't
60
missed-
at least.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
missed a single week since I started coming on here.
It's
Once I
weird
figured
to
out
me
how
to-
Hangout works.
It's weird to think that I started podcasting for this site doing the newscast, and I've now ended up doing
That was 7 years ago.
newscast.
That
Don't
was
tell me
7 years ago. That was over
fucking tell me
7
that.
years ago that Newscast started.
Yo, like, we've been here a while now.
When
Like, Zach and Neal, you've been here like 10 years.
For me,
8?
I'll be 9 come like March.
God, that means I'll be 9 come March.
I think
Or
I think
sooner.
you started before me. I think you might be knocking on the door of 10
I'll be
because you joined in 07, didn't you?
06 or 07, yeah.
Yeah, because I joined right around when Smash Brothers Brawl came out.
yeah,
Right.
and Zach, you reviewed Phantom Hourglass infamously, so
Yeah, that was it. That was 07.
That game
Yeah.
sucks.
I can't believe that like you guys have been podcasting on news shows since before I started coming to the site regularly, and and in the last 2 years, almost 2 years that I've worked here, Neal's fired me like 8 times.
Yeah, it's usually about
Most
comparing to
recently today.
And then 5 years in January for me. And I came on at like 17. And then if it wasn't for fucking Kaplan, I'd still be the staff baby.
I mean, Kaplan's
But,
not on staff
Sure
anymore,
now.
so you're the staff baby.
Oh, sick! I'm 22, and I've been here 5 years. I've-
Oh, Jesus
yeah.
Christ, I'm old.
We've been going 30 episodes longer than Newscast by this point. I think that's impressive.
Yeah, because Newscast made it to episode 69,
69.
which is
Hey.
really
Never forget.
really on point.
Maybe the best episode of that show, too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
delirious.
But we're getting ready to do it again, as I have an announcement that I'm going to make at the end of the show, which is very exciting. It's not a secret announcement, but it is an announcement, and it's a
Is it
cool
about
announcement.
baseball?
It's about baseball. Where are we at now? It's top of the 7th. I got to refresh Google.
No,
Bottom of the 7th,
bottom
2
seventh.
outs, still 6-3. Indians have a runner on second.
Yeah.
This will mean nothing to anybody who watches the video on demand.
But there's a chance that the Cubs could win
This
their
is
first
history.
World Series in 109 years on episode 100.
Whoever wins this game, it's going to be historic because it's either the Indians win their first one since the 40s, or the Cubs win their first one since 1908.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
Top of the 8th,
So-
strikeout.
We have an episode today because the Animal Crossing Direct happened, and it might be the weirdest, goofiest, funnest Nintendo Direct
Maybe
they've
the
done
best
yet.
direct I've ever watched.
Like,
That thing was a hoot.
just
Yeah.
way to go, Hisashi Nogami. Like that man has really, he's risen through the ranks. Dude produced Splatoon, and now he's doing the wackiest
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct yet.
I thought he was
Giant
going to
KK
replace
slider.
Iwata. I thought he
I
was
can
going to
only
be a
imagine
I
the
think
Alex
Nogami-
was in a
no, I
KK
don't think-
slider mask.
I mean, Aguchi would replace Iwata sooner than Nogami would have. Nogami is basically Aguchi's heir apparent.
Oh, wait, I was thinking of a Gucci. Never mind.
That's what I figured. That's why I pointed out Aguchi.
Yeah. I was like, Nogami sounds familiar, but not that familiar.
Yeah, because Nogami was like there's been this wave with the Nintendo internal teams where like a lot of those guys are rising to higher ranks, and it's kind of like the dudes who were the producers for years are now like senior staff, and then the guys who were the directors are now the producers. And Nogami is like with Splatoon, I think that was his first like kind of solo producer effort, and now he's in charge of that same team that Aguchi was, the Animal Crossing, the Splatoon.
So basically, in
Nintendo Land.
Pokemon terms, what Satoshi Tajiri was, Masuda became,
Yeah.
and then what's
Now they have
his
the new
face?
guy.
The new guy. What's his name, Donald? You know his name.
Omori.
Omori.
Yeah.
It's Omori. There we go. So yeah, this seems like people get older and then you replace them in the ranks.
Yep.
Yeah. So they revealed in full the Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo expansion in this direct, which I had no expectations for, but I was super impressed by, because here's what was in it. You have Amiibo support, which we're going to talk about that load of bullshit. It's the Amiibo support. There's which basically sends guys to your campground, which there's a campground now, and then you can go in the villager's house and KK Slider's house with Hav.
Harv. Is that Harv?
And then there's all this stuff. I'm going to pull out the press release, but basically there's Amiibo support, but also there's 2 new mini games, and also they made a lot of weird small improvements, like you can sit on rocks now, and
That's the one you call out.
More storage space, which is like, thank God.
there's
Yeah,
more
has
storage
anybody-
space.
Have you gotten the storage room yet?
I have it, but I haven't looked at it yet.
Because my thing is that, like, I guess one of the last things I did on this game was, like, I probably was thinking, like, I'm never going to play this again. I'm just going to get something huge added onto my house and then not pay it off. So I'm close to paying it off now. But it was just like I had like 100,000 bells. Or I think more than that.
Yeah.
But now it's down to like 20,000. I just need to do like a run to the island and I'm good.
A new storage space. You can block people on Tortimer Island. You can. There's new Welcome Amiibo cards, 50 new cards, but all the old cards work. 16 Animal Crossing series Amiibo and Splatoon ones. You can get new Splatoon items for your town.
And all the Zelda ones.
You get Zelda. Yeah, I ordered some
There's Zelda.
I desperately need those Wind Waker
Link is
Zelda.
going to join my town.
Huh?
Wait,
No, with all the
Mike?
Amiibo, you can get them to join your town. So I'm gonna get Wolflink. I'm gonna get some Ganondorf up in this bitch. I can't wait.
I like
Okay,
the Ganon's a
why
pig.
is Link talking? Because the last time he talked, he was always saying, "Well, excuse me, princess."
Because it's about time they updated that.
Was that a southern accent?
That was me trying to do the old Legend of Zelda cartoon voice. It doesn't work out too well.
No, I was talking to Neal. He had like a
I was
little
aware.
twang on it. Then they also bring
My
in.
disapproving Southern accent.
They bring in the reorganization of rooms from Happy Home Designer,
which is
There's
awesome.
carryover from Happy Home. Yes, it is.
They basically took the best things from the terrible spin-offs last year.
They made basically enough content to do 60% of a 3DS sequel and put it in the game for free.
I'd say 60% might be a little high, but there's a good chunk of content. Although
Like Wind Waker HD level.
With Animal Crossing sequels though, yeah, no, that sounds
Yeah.
like 60% of a sequel.
It's the city folk 60%.
Yeah. No, this feels like Wild World the City Folk. Like that's the amount of content they got out of it.
And they just put it on 3DS instead of Wii U and decided that re-releasing New Leaf as a $20 package with this update was more profitable than making a Wii U game, which is sad, but probably not terribly inaccurate.
I wouldn't be surprised if, this was like they were working after Animal Crossing Plaza. They were working on this content for HD on Wii U, and then after they got a little while into it, and they're like,
this
no.
isn't gonna sell.
Yeah, maybe we don't do this.
I think one of the main reasons they did it is because there's all these Animal Crossing amiibo that are rotting away on store shelves.
Yeah, but I mean,
we got to get people to buy these.
If the Wii U wasn't dead, I think we would have gotten an Animal Crossing Wii U game this year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Instead, hopefully, we'll get one early on in the Switch's life. I know we're getting the mobile game. They could. Animal Crossing is a game that I wouldn't be surprised if they try to more annualize, kind of like how they do it with Zelda, where there's at least a Zelda game coming out every year.
Some kind of spin-off-y thing, yeah.
Which so we had the spin-offs last year. We had the big New Leaf update this year. We'll have the mobile game next year, and maybe even a Switch game in 2017 or 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
I doubt we're gonna get a Switch game in 2017 because at first, if it was just Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, I'm like, okay, they probably have enough room on the side to make another game despite whatever staff was on Splatoon and all that stuff. But when you have that stuff, you have an update as substantial as this, which has two mini games which have story modes on them that are built into Animal Crossing New Leaf, and then you also have this mobile game that even if they didn't make, they probably supported substantially with their own staff. I wouldn't be surprised if that was all the staff they had to work on Animal Crossing.
It could be.
I bet there's a new Animal Crossing in development, but I doubt it's almost done.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I guess, didn't ND Cube help out with Amiibo Festival?
Yeah.
I think they did. I forget the Happy Home Designer. I don't know who worked on that. I think that might have been internal. But I think Animal Crossing Switch in 2017 might be aggressive and unlikely. But I do think that there are solidified plans for this is when we're going to release this game. We're working on it now.
Yeah.
And wouldn't some of that team be working on the Splatoon for Switch anyway?
No, I don't think there was as much carryover from that team. I think Splatoon's a lot more Nintendo Land. It is, here's the thing with Splatoon and a lot of that stuff is some of the ongoings of who's working on what in Nintendo EPD now is a little fuzzy because they used to have those very separated teams, but with the reorganization, it seems like it's been a lot more muddled. There's been a lot more crossover, even before they had the reorg. For example, Nintendo Land, which would have been this team, the Aguchi Nogami team, that basically just pulled everybody in because they needed to get that game out for Wii U launch. Yeah. I know a lot of guys that was the whole stuff with Nintendo Land, that Link Between Worlds got delayed because a bunch of people from that team got called in to work on Nintendo Land. Wow. And I think we're seeing a lot more of that. I should probably at this point start sitting down and poring over the credits of stuff like Splatoon to see who's working on what they've worked on in the past, how are these teams organized, if there is any kind of rhyme and reason to it.
Yeah.
Well, the way Ubisoft does stuff with a lot of their staff, the reason why a lot of Ubisoft games have 30, 40-minute credits is because they have a ton of staff members who are just working on 8 different games at once.
Yeah.
In little pieces, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo had a similar system on a smaller scale.
I mean, that's a lot of what they're doing with this reorganization. I know that people talked a lot about how it's just, oh, they're mixing the portable and the home development sides into one, so that way they can just focus on one platform. Because I don't think that's really what they're doing. Like, I mean, that'll shake out. I'll either be proven wrong or right with how I feel about how I don't think. I think there will still be a portable in addition to the Switch. But I think a lot of what they're doing with the reorganization is to kind of share assets more. They've said that publicly with Zelda dating back to E3, that like, okay, yeah, this game, a lot of manpower, cost a lot of money, but we're going to use how we built this physics engine and everything in Breath of the Wild and use that for future games. And I think there's going to be a lot more like asset sharing and like HD development techniques are going to be shared between these companies.
It's basically going to be like Pixar and Disney Studios merging.
Yeah, no, I think that might be more of what it's like. It's less we're going to focus on just games for one platform, and more we're going to do all of the games that we make way smarter than we did before and more efficient.
Well, yeah, because Breath of the Wild is on a modified Xenoblade Chronicles X engine, right?
That is correct.
Right. Okay. Cool. So, getting back to the update, the stuff I want to talk about. No, this is cool. These are my favorite episodes of the show when we just sort of keep it a little bit loose and just.
I've been sitting on that like rant about how Nintendo's or rant/theory on how Nintendo's internal teams are like working now, because we don't know as much. We haven't had enough. We haven't seen what the hell they've been doing for the past 2 years.
True.
We'll hopefully see that next year.
It's okay, Neal.
Hopefully
you can
we
have
see
that
a lot of it.
You can have that rant, and then I can have Splatoon and Animal Crossing are way similar games than you realize. That'll be
They totally are.
We had some argument about that like Animal Crossing. I was arguing that Animal Crossing and Splatoon are like that. There's so much Animal Crossing in Splatoon, but no one will agree with me on it.
No, I don't disagree with you. Like I think
they're in the same immediate family.
I think it's subtle. Like, I mean, they carry. It's the same producers. Like, they're going to shape games in a certain way. I think the directors don't come from an Animal Crossing background.
It was the Animal Crossing team. That's what you took umbrage with, and I think that
I don't think it's the Animal Crossing team. I think there are some people who worked on Animal Crossing,
but they're Animal Crossing people.
Yeah, but I don't think it's predominantly that. I think Splatoon's development team borrows a lot more from Nintendo Land. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So the main part of Animal Crossing Welcome Amiibo is the fact there's this new campground with Harv, and it's a lot like the Homes showcase that's up at the top, except it's modified, where every day there will be a new guest coming in their RV. Like, it'll be Jingle, or it'll be the rabbit, or it'll be like however many guest characters, like Blanca was in there my first day. And then in addition to that, you can scan the Amiibo cards from the new series and any of the 16 Animal Crossing series Amiibo figures, and the Zelda ones, and the Splatoon ones, and the Villager Amiibo, which the Villager Amiibo one is cool, but I'll talk about that one in a minute. And you can go in their house, you can talk to them. If they're part of the card series, you can invite them to live in your town, or if they're the Zelda ones, the Splatoon ones, do you know if they will live in your town?
I believe they can, because I know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that Don Koopman, Nintendon on Twitter, contributor to the site, he was doing experimentation with the Monster Hunter Stories amiibo, which apparently work in the North American version of the game, and I think he was inviting a feline to come live with him.
Ooh, that's sick.
I know. I'm tempted to import those amiibo because it sounds really cool.
Also, those are sick amiibo.
Yeah,
and
they're also really big. Yeah,
and they have their own like Animal Crossing like game in Japan. It just never came out here.
Yes, but anyways, you go to the RV, you go in, you can invite some of them to your town, and also they have super sick furniture, like the Splatoon and the Zelda ones have Splatoon and Zelda themed furniture, and you can buy that stuff 3 pieces per day and send it back to your town, and you can get really cool stuff, including a Wii U, that has one of the games from Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Desert Escape, but like a modified version, and the 3DS. There's a new 3DS, there's a new 3DS XL, and there's a KK Slider new 3DS if you have KK Slider's Amiibo, and that will unlock an Animal Crossing Puzzle League.
That.
The
Now, hold
Animal
on,
Crossing
Alex.
Puzzle League. Yes.
To buy any of the shit in the RV park, don't you need Meow tickets?
So here's what's interesting about that is when you scan an Amiibo for the first time, you get 5 Meow tickets, and when you get Meow tickets for the first time, you get 10 automatically. And in addition to that, you can also do these daily challenges that are super easy, like hang a piece of clothing on your wall for 2 tickets, or catch 5 fish or collect however many shells that refresh daily and weekly. So yes, there is this new currency, but the way you get that currency is extremely easy. So you can buy this stuff and you can send it back to your town. And the 3DS has an Animal Crossing Puzzle League, which has its own story mode as you challenge other people. It's super small, but it has a story mode where other people challenge you to become the mayor.
How you doing over there, Neal? You happy about this?
What, the KK Slider Amiibo's got some shit?
So yeah, everything around it is sick. It's a sick update, especially as a free update. Neal is fucking ridiculous.
I feel like I need to
my
go
KK
get
Slider
some
Amiibo, man.
things now.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I got some shit to do. Go on.
KK Slider
worry,
is
man,
my
but-
favorite Amiibo.
Next time Best Buy's having
You
an
can probably
Amiibo, Animal Crossing Amiibo sale, I'm clearly going to have to go get some.
Yeah, you should be able to get them at that point for what, $12 for the lot?
Probably.
Yeah, all 16.
I almost went to a GameStop during lunch to get like each Amiibo. I think they were like $6 a pop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like literally everyone.
Jeez.
But what's weird about this fantastic update otherwise, because it has all this Amiibo stuff, but it also has a lot of like quality of life stuff to improve the game, as we mentioned before, is that in order to use the Amiibo stuff, you have to get a magic lamp, and you have to summon Wisp, who's a ghost who's been in the entire series. And the way you find this lamp is not clearly determined. So the only surefire way to do it is to set ahead the clock, time travel, and then keep exploring the town until you get it. It should happen in 3 days. Now, what I feel like is the actual way that this magic lamp gets unlocked is it's the first day you walk around town and there's no special event.
Okay.
That's what I think is the way it happens, because the first day I had Sahara, the carpet camel, and then I had Red the next day, or Gulliver, and then I just fast forwarded it to midnight when there would be no one.
Oh yeah, Gulliver.
And then it unlocked them. So what you can do is you can unlock it to midnight, and it should that very first night unlock. But it's this weird, convoluted way to unlock the Amiibo support. But once you do that, you can unlock one. You can activate one Amiibo per day, I think.
Huh.
Yeah. That's why I'm time traveling right now. I don't care. I'm breaking
Anyways,
the law. I'm breaking the law.
I played for all of 2 hours today. I got the KK Slider DJ deck, and I used the Villager Amiibo, which I recommend anyone who has the Villager Amiibo does, because what happens is cool, because you go to Wisp and you put on the Villager Amiibo, and he's like, I can't possess this person. I can't bring this person to your town. This is too legendary of a villager. There's this weird reverence that he gives the villager, but he's like, okay, hold on. We'll see what I can do. Campground. And you go inside the RV, and inside is not the villager, but Wisp. And surrounding Wisp is a lot of furniture that is custom to the villager. So there's a big armoire that's 2 Wii remotes. There's there's a Nintendo DS Lite bench. There's a Nintendo bench. There's a Wii U. And my favorite one, the reason to put on the Villager Amiibo in the first point, is that you can get a golden statue of Villager to put in your house.
Right.
Which is, I think, a similar statue to the one you get in the very first game after paying off your house 100%.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
And I think wasn't that an Amiibo festival as well? If you tap the villager,
It should be. It should have been. I did not
Yeah.
play Amiibo Festival, but I should have because it was like $13 at Best Buy.
yeah, it was. I almost bought it.
Best Buy Amiibo Festival. I'd be surprised if it was still that price.
It
It's
was a
still
deal
that
of the
price.
day.
I'd buy it now. I bet.
Desert Escape is worth. Oh wait, but you can play that in the 3DS game now.
But it's still $19.99 on Best Buy Amiibo Festival.
It's not bad, really.
That game's not worth $20 though, is it?
Well, the
Probably not.
Amiibos inside are probably worth $20.
It's probably. I remember when we live streamed that game with some people, like the twins and other friends, and people told us to stop playing and play something else because we looked like we were having such a bad time.
It might have been because it's $15.99 with Gamers Club Unlocked, so I could probably get this game for $15.99. Can someone in the chat tell me not to buy it?
Don't buy it. I'll tell you.
Okay, I'll trust you.
don't encourage the bastards.
PSVR.
I did buy something irresponsible. I bought Star Fox Zero with Star Fox Guard.
See, that's actually a decent game.
I got
Maybe not a great one, but compared to Amiibo Festival, Star Fox Zero is like the best game ever made.
And then Kurt also tells me not to buy it. But Star Fox Zero, I got it for $20 on a GameFly sale used with Star Fox Guard, and that's going to be showing up. And $20 feels like the perfect price for Star Fox Zero. $20.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a sick update. I thought the Direct was sick too. Also, if you only want a taste of Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and don't want to spend all the money, get the Wii U in Animal Crossing Welcome Amiibo, and you can play Desert Escape, which has like a smaller version of the Desert Escape mode, which was actually like a little fun for like a way to kill.
It's the only good thing about that game. Sincerely.
So that is like a decently all right thing. Oh shit! Indians are starting something, says TRBR. Let's see.
Now pitching for the Cubs, number 54, an asshole.
6'4".
Oh, Chapman.
Okay.
Chapman. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Bottom of the 8th. What was the thing I wanted to say? Anyways, stuff. There he is. There's our KK slider. Anyways, what I was gonna say, the other cool thing is that you don't actually need the amiibo.
What?
Any of this stuff, or most of the stuff.
Yeah, it'll come in 14
exclusive, I think. But with the play coins, you have a random chance of getting the 3DS, the Wii U, all that stuff. Except you don't have a chance of getting any of the new stuff. It's just bundled in with all the stuff that was in Fortune Cookies before, so you actually have a really low chance of getting all that stuff, but it is possible.
Huh. Well, screw that. I'd rather buy the
Animal
Amiibos.
Crossing update, which Neal is enjoying right now.
I'm dressed up as the new Link. Although, no, I mixed it. I have the blue outfit from Breath of the Wild with the classic Link hat.
Oh, wait, those the Breath of the Wild Amiibos are out already?
No, well, no. I had Wolf Link. I could buy.
Oh, I see.
Buy stuff.
So on December 2nd, I have the Ocarina of Time Link coming, which I think is the best one of those. And I'm hoping that the Breath of the Wild stuff will unlock in that.
You just announced Wind Waker Link.
There's already a Toon Link amiibo, though. I'm not specifying which is the best game.
I think I could probably test because I have a Toon Link and a regular Link. I think it's just like one Link will bring you Link. It won't be specifically Toon Link or Ocarina of Time Link.
Okay. That makes sense.
Cool.
Right.
Oh, and then let's talk about this other thing. In the Japanese Nintendo Direct, they finally semi-revealed what Miitopia is, and it sounds like Miitopia is a...
And
well, shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what Alex was going to say there before he dropped again, Miitopia is apparently an RPG of some variety that does have some sort of relationship mechanic, which, by the way, you can have same-sex relationships in this game too, unlike Tomodachi Life, and they had a little preview video that you could download.
My Wi-Fi went down. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Donald, were you explaining this? Go ahead.
So they had a little preview download that you could get on the eShop today. I got crossed up a bit. Thought it was coming out because they're having a direct for this game on Saturday, and it comes out on December the 8th.
Yeah. So the 5th, November 5th is when the direct is. December 8th is when it's coming out. I think the question with Miitopia is, do we think it's coming to America or Europe?
Tie game, by the way.
That's incredible.
Oh,
Miitopia is cool and all, but this is way more exciting.
Is this World Series gonna be a fucking movie someday?
Yes, they're filming the 30 for 34 right now.
Are they legitimately doing that?
They might as well be.
Yeah, they should. That would have been smart.
Anyways, Miitopia, here's what I'll say. We don't know enough about Miitopia to actually talk about it too much yet, which is why I'm about to see what the chat has to say, and then I'll just read some of those before we go on to our final story. But what I did like about the Miitopia trailer, because they did release some kind of Miitopia trailer today for 3DSs that'll like insert your amiibo into the extended trailers, is that it leaned into anime really hard.
Oh.
And like anime and JRPG tropes, it seems like it's that kind of me RPG that like we would see on Street Pass, except it's expanded to an actual game, an actual full like non-Street Pass game, and it looks like it incorporates at least some of the humor from Tomodachi Life.
So clearly, if you're the main character, your me will doubtlessly have amnesia.
Probably.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
It was just watch that trailer. Don Koopman has some of that stuff on his YouTube page. It looks anime as hell, right?
Yeah, and it's Don's video is actually embedded in our news story on it, but yeah, it's like 7 minutes long. It basically runs through the plot. You can actually have the Miis as the heroes and villains. And so I can think of a few people that I can probably put in that villain role, but anyway. And as for whether it comes to the West, I don't know. I mean, it could be filler material for next year if they wanted to do it that way. But if anything, this might be like a download-only thing in North America, like a Rhythm Heaven Megamix was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, is it retail in Japan?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Matthew Kelly asks, hey, NWR, which NES game is your favorite in one of the 30 NES games in the NES Classic Edition? Neal, I'll start with you because you actually have it.
I mean, I'm a sucker for Punch-Out.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is incredible. I really like Tecmo Bowl. I love Ninja Gaiden. It's hard to pick one, but if I had to pick one, it'd be Punch-Out.
I'd say Mega Man 2.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck. Mega Man 2, yes.
I'll stick with Punch-Out because you said Mega Man 2, but Mega Man 2 might be close to it.
Okay, if you guys are saying Mega Man 2, I'll just say Bubble Bobble.
You could say Mega Man 1. That would still be a fair
answer. You know, I'm bummed Castlevania 3 is not on it.
Only Castlevania 2.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Like, but there is, I've been thinking about this, and I mean, especially with probably after this, now that I figured out the amiibo crap in Animal Crossing, I'm probably gonna sit down and play the crap out of this all night. I kind of want to like make significant progress in every one of these games, especially ones that I haven't really played before. And Castlevania 2 is a game that I basically just like screwed around in the first area and was like, this looks like it sucks.
It does.
Like I have that on NES
right now.
Yeah. Anyways, Chariot Goblin asks, has Alex played Headlander yet? Yes, Oh, wait, no, Donald, you got to go first. You got to go last.
Mario 3.
Super Mario 3. That's probably the right answer.
Good choice.
Has Alex played Headlander yet? Chariot Goblin asks. The answer is yes. That game is excellent, as Zach can attest to.
Damn good game. I platinumed that shit.
I want to play that at some point. It's just one of those things like it's there. I'll wait for a sale or something. Actually, I think I might have a code for it on PC.
Yeah, it was our good friend sent us.
I feel like CJ just put my email for NWR on like a review code list because I just get Adult Swim review codes sent to my NWR personal email.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know when that happened. I'm not really complaining.
Yeah. What else do we have? Miitopia Direct is coming the 8th, not in America unless it is coming into America, but in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else? Don't buy Amiibo Festival, Stephen Toth says. Okay. Cool. I won't.
I have something I want to talk about that's kind of... There's a rumor circulating around from Laura Kate Dale, who's the person who basically nailed every single damn thing about the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
She was saying she heard March 17th is the European release date for the Switch, and that it might not be the exact same day in every region, but it will be out that week. I want to bring that up because I think if I were a betting man, I would bet the farm on March 17th being the release date in North America.
That's Monster Hunter's Japanese release date too, right?
Well, March 18th.
March 18th, but same thing.
But like that's
so
I think it'll be Japan. I think that Monster Hunter game's coming out on Switch in Japan on March 18th at launch.
That'd be smart.
And that would meet the qualifications of different release dates in different territories.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo does everything on Fridays in the West, but
Man, I was really hoping we'd all have our Switches at PAX.
Yeah, I tend to think that won't happen. I mean, the other option really, it's to me, I think it's 100% going to be a Friday. It would be bucking the current Nintendo trend of having things coming out on Fridays. I know that in the past, all of their systems have come out on Sundays. Times have changed. The 3DS XL came out on a Friday. Or the new 3DS came out on a Friday. February 13th last year or whatever. But I think this is going to be out March 17th in North America. I think it's going to come out on a Friday, and I guess it'll come out on Saturday the 18th in Japan. And I don't keep up with European release dates as much, but I think they do Friday as well now.
They do Friday for bigger retail stuff, yeah. So that would work for them as well.
I am excited for the January presentation.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm excited about a new Nintendo system, because of course I am. But I'm excited to see what that Splatoon thing is, because watching that Direct today kind of got me in the mood for more Splatoon, but not Splatoon on Wii U. I kind of want to play a new game with Splatoon stuff in it, or at least an updated-ish, city-folk-ish Splatoon.
My worry is that it's just going to be like Splatoon 1.5 at best. Yeah. And that would be really disappointing unless there's massive changes. We can use the comparison to Welcome Amiibo with New Leaf. If it's an update like that, I don't know if I'm happy about that. I've played a lot of vanilla Splatoon. I want to see a sequel. I don't want to see an upgraded port. And unfortunately, I think we're going to get an upgraded port.
I'm sure that's true.
I know.
It is.
With the upgraded port, guess what? We're not getting more single-player content. And the single-player content was secretly the best part of that game.
Not such a secret. It is the best part of that game.
It was all the best part of that game. I think Splatoon was a wonderful game.
Splatoon is my top Wii U game.
It's not just your top Wii U game, Neal. It's the best Wii U game.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear an argument for Mario Maker.
But that's it. It's Mario Maker and Splatoon. Those are the two games.
I think because I did a friend of the site, Seren McNulty, did something. She writes for a newspaper. And she did something for that was kind of like a end of life Wii U thing, and asked for people for their top 20 Wii U games. So I sat down and thought about it, and I think my top 5 were Splatoon, Smash Brothers, Shovel Knight, Runner 2, and Wind Waker HD. I think those are my top 5.
I'm 50-50 as to whether we see Splatoon 1.5 or Splatoon, because Splatoon 1, as we all know, had a notoriously short development cycle. Granted, they've been tooling with the idea for however long, but the development time of Splatoon, I'm pretty sure, was like about a year. Or like they had most of it.
I mean, they released it unfinished.
I'll stand by, and I thought it at the time. I was on the minority of reviewers who played that final version of Splatoon and thought it was great. Right. I'm glad they added more, but like even with just the 5 maps and the 2 modes, like Splatoon online multiplayer was incredibly fun.
Sure.
And adding more maps over time, I feel like that was a purposeful strategy of having content roll out like that, so that way people wouldn't just play the game and trade it in. And I think it was a brilliant strategy because. Sure. I feel like that's part of the reason why that game sold so many damn copies, despite being on a failure of a system.
Yeah. They made the first, like, core, I would say, like, since the Wii brand. They made the first character-driven main central Nintendo franchise since Pikmin. And
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing came out first. Because Animal Crossing came out in 99.
No.
Or was it a super late N64 game?
Both Animal Crossing and Pikmin came out in 2001.
When the N64 one came out?
Technically, Animal Forest 64 came out in like the summer of 2001. But for me, I mean, Animal Crossing didn't really become a thing until it came out in more territories. Like, when it came out on N64, it was kind of like, well, we put a lot of work into this thing. I guess we'll release it.
Since Pikmin and Animal Crossing, fine. Yeah. But it's like, and it also totally 100% earns its spot. Like, when I saw the original Splatoon trailer at that E3, I thought it was some half-assed $15 game based on the way, like, they showed off that trailer. And then it turned out to be one of the best things Nintendo's done in years and years and years.
I like that the music was clearly influenced by ska. Like, that tickled my heart.
Well, I think it was influenced by skateboard culture, which ska, obviously, but, like, I think, like, it was... I was re-listening to the Giant Bomb 2015 Game of the Year, and, like, they pointed out that Splatoon is basically a Dreamcast game made today.
Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
Like, if you had some guy going like, check on radio, I would have been like, yeah, it's Splatoon.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see what happens to Splatoon, and I'm going to be optimistic that it's going to be worthwhile.
I see Anthony Dranfield points out in the chat about how, don't start this argument, Alex, Xenoblade, Rhythm Heaven, etc., etc. I would argue that neither of those games are character-driven franchises.
Right.
And I think that's the big distinction here is like, well, I guess Shulk was in Smash Brothers, but like, dude was in a game. Like, Rhythm Heaven, like, okay, there was the rumor of like the Chorus Kids being in Smash Brothers or whatever, but like, Rhythm Heaven doesn't have a lot of characters. It's just an aesthetic.
Monolith is also second party, as far as I know, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop stuff Nintendo. Like all the Fire Emblem characters.
But I'm saying, like, there's a difference between Monolith and Nintendo EAD, EPD, such and such. Like, what you could make a case for is the Wii series, starting with Wii Sports, if you were to count the Mii as character-driven.
The Mii is probably a more iconic and important character than anything in Rhythm Heaven and Xenoblade. Actually, no. That's true. Not probably. That's definite.
Yeah. I'm saying that's the only thing you could really make that case for and hold serious water is the Wii franchise.
And I'll since now I'm getting dragged into this too. Xenoblade has less character than Pikmin. Like, go and ask people like Pikmin, who's in that? And they might say like Pikmin guy, but like they'll know a guy.
Pikmin guy.
With Xenoblade, it'll be like, I don't know. Like, it's a Japanese game, right?
Xenoblade Chronicles, I go back and forth on how I remember that game, because at the time I thought it was a wonderful, not gorgeous, but it was a wonderful RPG, and an excellent story that was thought-provoking, but also a classic JRPG in some ways. Several years later, I don't remember more than a handful of things about that 70-hour game.
I think it's way too bloated. That's my problem with pretty much all of Monolith Soft's games. I think that they're very bloated. But Xenoblade is an absolutely marvelous magical game that probably would be a lot better if it was like cut in half.
Yeah. Even cut by 30%.
Yeah.
I think a long-ass RPG is fine, but it had too much.
I would say if that game was like 40 hours, it would be near perfect to me. Well, because I think that like there's so much about that game that's incredible, but you get like that. I think there's a part like about halfway through that it drags for a while and it picks up at the end. Like I really love the ending, like the last like couple hours of that game because it gets so ridiculous. And I still think that the opening 3 hours of that are probably my favorite opening 3 hours of any RPG.
Yeah. Remember how freaking scary the that first what's its name? The British speaking robot that like tries to kill everyone and actually does kind of kill someone?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? That's the most I remember from Xenoblade, but I remember that moment when it first appeared and I was like, that's fucking scary.
All right, Cherry Goblin.
That's
asks,
like a few
Face,
things.
are you talking about Metal Face?
Yeah, Metal Face.
Yeah.
Metal Face, that's what I'm talking about.
Cherry Goblin asks, which genre do you want Sakurai to tackle next?
Walking simulator.
I want him to make the sequel to Custer's Revenge.
Ooh.
I want
What
him
if it was a
Custer's
remake?
Uprising. Custer's Uprising.
I want him to make a game that won't let him recycle the same menu system we've had since Kirby's Air Ride.
Well,
What's more suggestive than
until he totally ruined his menu system in the new Smash Brothers? Like, it used to be a thing of beauty, and like the menus in the new Smash Brothers games are like Mario Golf World Tour bad.
No, nothing's that bad.
But okay, I'll tell you what I don't want Sakurai making: a 2D platformer. I think that his I don't get me wrong, I love me some Kirby's Adventure, but I think that his like, for example, Subspace Emissary kind of showed this, that like 2D platforming isn't so great, but like give him something akin to Kid Icarus Uprising with like the Duck Hunt dog. First person shooter Duck Hunt game.
How many outs are there? It's still 6-6, top of the ninth.
Nobody out. And it's apparently pouring rain in Cleveland right now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this game is never going to end because they're going to rain delay it till like next year.
Not a 2D platformer, but how about a 3D platformer, N64 ukulele style?
What would the
not necessarily literally ukulele?
What character?
Duck Hunt. It's
Okay,
Duck Hunt.
yeah.
It's they literally make a new Banjo-Kazooie, but with Duck Hunt, and they make it Nintendo, so it's better.
Well, who would he be fighting against? Who would Duck Hunt dog be fighting?
It would be called Duck and Hunt. Duck and Hunt.
It'll be no, because it's a Duck Hunt trio. Because it has to be. It's the duck, the bird, and you.
Well, no, it'll be Duck and Hunt, and then there will be the reticle in the in the corner.
But
I think there's an idea here.
Would it be like the guys from Hogan's Alley would be the bosses?
No, it's not the Duck Hunt trio. It's the Duck Hunt duo has to face off against the main antagonist, the reticle from the original Duck Hunt game.
No, but that's you. Like
and the final boss,
character.
Final boss, it's like Metal Gear Solid 3 where it's in that grassy field, and you're the dog, and it's like Duck Hunt, but reverse. And then it's hand-to-hand combat, the dog versus a reticle from an NES game.
So I've got this idea. It's an F-Zero GTA game.
Oh.
Yeah.
GTA Mute City. Rockstar North is developing the next F-Zero.
Are we just at this point? I feel like we're wasting time until somebody wins this game.
We might.
Oh, of course. Well, we still have the Nintendo. Donald has his Nintendo, My Nintendo rant that I'm excited for.
Okay,
But
well,
we can move on to that. Oh, you're just ready, Donald.
now this will be
Go
short and
for it.
sweet. Nintendo updated the My Nintendo rewards today. They put things on there that would theoretically tickle every bit of my fancy, and I already own 6 of them.
Yep.
Can we all agree that My Nintendo is a complete shit show right now and has been pretty much since it launched?
Yep.
Why is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D not a reward you can pay for in like coins? That game is not going to sell any more copies. I should not be getting a 15% off coupon for a game that I can get 20% off of for Gamers Club Unlocked.
They have stopped,
at the very least, it should be 50%.
Offering digital games for coins. They've just stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Which all my coins don't exist anymore because I never even spent them on Zelda Picross.
Yeah, like I mean, when Donald first brought this idea up, I was just like what else is there to say? And I guess what else there is to say is that this thing's been out since March and it's been complete dog shit the entire time. The only good thing about it is that the interface is tight. And it probably runs that well because no one's using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
someone who gets to interview Kamishima, or just someone up at Nintendo who knows their shit, even if Miyamoto, there are no journalists higher ranking than us probably watching this right now, probably. But if there are, if you get to interview Kamishima or Miyamoto or Tezuka or just someone at Nintendo who matters, just be like, could you tell us about why My Nintendo is sort of like the digital equivalent of an ejaculation?
But is it better in Japan and Europe? Or
dude,
are we
it's not
just
even that
getting the
good.
short end of the stick again?
Actually,
Maybe
no,
it's
an
better in-
ejaculation's more enjoyable.
Maybe it's better in Japan.
Well, at least in Europe, you get occasional third-party games, and there's actual good deals on. Like they have one of those core synthesizers off 50% off right now.
Yeah, that's nice.
What about Japan?
As far as I can tell, it's the same thing. I mean, the whole reason this thing I think existed in the first place was because of Miitomo, and now that Miitomo has completely fallen off the face of the earth, maybe Super Mario Run does something for it, maybe the Switch does something for it, but for now, it's completely freaking useless.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Neal, you got My Nintendo points, as though this were Club Nintendo in your NES Classic.
Yeah.
Can't wait to use those on nothing.
Whoop-de-doo.
TRBR says My Nintendo is the 2016 of rewards programs.
It's pretty good.
Which I appreciated. Pitcher change for the Indians. Just thought all you guys would like to know. Yeah, My Nintendo's a crock of shit, as I say, as we approach not the end of the top of the. It's gonna be inning 15. Like, there's no point in even like hoping that this will stick around. Is that like it's gonna be inning 15 because they're trying to make this like. This is gonna be a movie in 3 years, right?
2016 World Series, Cubs versus Indians, and then the world will end with the score tied in Game 7 extra innings. #apocalypse.
God. My question
We need the Cubs World Series to save us from this election cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my
It
question.
can last for a week.
My question
It's
about
the
My
longest-
Nintendo is, I mean, does NOA know it's shitty? Like, if you went up to Reggie and bought him a drink and got him a little bit drunk, would he be like, "Yeah, we know it's bullshit"?
One Reggie's too much on this game. You'd have to aim lower. Reggie's a pro.
And-
He could probably trick us all into the table.
He
And,
just started to-
all that would happen at the end of it is we'd wind up at a Pizza Hut, and he'd be
Moffat.
like, "Get the Bigfoot pizza, bro."
Okay, get Moffat drunk.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the
like
market.
that's what happened. You'd go out for drinks with Reggie, and he would just convince you to go buy shit at Pizza Hut. That's how good he was at his job at Pizza Hut that he's still selling it.
Oh,
And
one of
you'd be
those Japanese
watching
pizzas.
VH1 while you ate pizza.
It's Japanese pizza with corn and mayo on it, as
Oh.
Reggie tells you about the future of Nintendo.
But as it stands now, My Nintendo is deader than Wii U production. That says a lot,
Ooh.
considering we thought.
Oh yeah, we got to
was
talk
getting
about
Wii.
that.
Do we?
There was a rumor.
I mean, I gotta eat someday.
It's okay. There was a rumor that Wii U production was ending this week, and then there was a Eurogamer story, I think, and then Nintendo.
Then they were like, no,
commented,
actually,
like,
it's
"No,
happening in 2 weeks.
Nintendo's
It's
like,
not-
it
it's-
hasn't ended yet.
I mean, good guess.
We're still gonna. I could see why they would say like last orders were in this week, but I mean Nintendo keeps producing systems for repair purposes for a long time. I mean they had they stopped producing the iQ. That's the Chinese GameCube that plays DVDs.
Holy shit.
So
The Q?
So yeah,
Fucking Q?
the iQ.
The IQ. Yeah.
Wow.
That
Well,
so
well, if they're ending production soon, y'all should probably go buy one to keep it new in box. So then in 10 years, people are going to be like, hey, how about that failed Nintendo console? It'll be the new Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like it's our show for this week. Episode 100. Hey, that happened. I'm proud to announce this is the last episode of the show. I'm just kidding. It's not the last episode of the show.
Oh, now we count down from 100.
Well, no, we could do the Player One podcast thing where every 100 episodes they always say it's the last episode of the show.
Yep.
But it's not the last episode of the show. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Literally since episode 50, for the last 50 weeks, the last calendar year, people have asked for this show to go on iTunes, and it is going on iTunes. It is finally going on iTunes. This will be the first episode of Nintendo News Report to go on iTunes. Now, the big question is the when, because we need to set up some stuff with a server and then some iTunes and then some RSS feed, and I got to make some art and stuff. So it's not going to be tomorrow. But my hope is that end of the weekend, early next week, at the very latest, by the time Nintendo News Report episode 101 goes on the air, you will have an iTunes podcast version of Nintendo News Report. We are legitimizing Nintendo News Report, finally. And it's going to be like a real podcast, Jesse Estrada. So Cherry Goblin asks, is it going on SoundCloud? That's the way I was originally going to do it, but instead it's going to be more through the site. It's going to be like, hopefully like the other podcasts, given enough time. It'll be right alongside those. We'll see. But anyways, all I'm saying is that after 100 episodes, we're having a new beginning. Volume 27, a new beginning. None of you will get that except me. Volume 27, a new beginning. We start now. iTunes soon. Subscribe to it eventually. Next week, there will be the iTunes, so then we'll tell you, and then there will be the iTunes. That's all I have to say. Patreon.com/NWR. It keeps the site alive, and we love you all, and we love your support. We love you anyways. No matter what, but we love you as Patreon people. Enron 10, Donald Mick, Z Miller 1902, Kulafia. See you for the next 100. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Go Indians.
Go Packers.
Go Packers.